What's up, gamers, gamies, and gamettes? My name is John. I am tired. I came back from Halloween Horror Nights, man, and there's a lot of things. Snapchat, but it's probably being gone forever. I gotta stop. I gotta save one footage at least to show what it was. There was some fun houses, but enough of me rambling on that. Welcome back to his Chinubia Cannot Be Cured, or the other name, Kachuna, which I like prefer to be is more, yeah. But last time, basically, we talked with the AI once again to go to Hurrah. We're basically trying to get to Hurrah. We're also trying to cheer up the team without our main enemy, the other competition, doesn't let us down. Like, I forgot the guy's name already, I'm sorry. It's been like almost a week since I haven't, yeah. Too many stuff been going on. But enough of me rambling, let's continue the story, I'm sorry. Alright. Mrs. Shima, pay attention. I look up drowsily, only to see my teacher looking straight at me with an annoyed expression. I guess I had fallen asleep in class again. Yesterday, the team and I had stayed up late, working well into the night. We've been testing some early builds for this first scene in the game. Since we already have some art, music, and writing, we figured it was the right time to try putting everything together and see how it goes. Obviously, it didn't work out that well, but at least we know what we want to do for our next dev session. Finally, we're making some real progress. It may not be even 1% of a whole project, but at least it's something. And besides, we all know that we can't be 100% with 1% missing. And at the very least, it's the start. I am quite sleepy though. Suddenly, something very light hits me on the head, bounces off and falls to the floor. Is that a piece of paper? I look behind me discreetly, trying to figure out who had thrown the paper ball. I glance behind me. I only see Takara with a funny look on his face. Confused now, I bent down and picked up the paper, uncrumbled, and crumbled it in my hands. Sorry, there was something that went wrong. Alright. This class is lit! Oh, that's funny, actually. That's pretty funny. I just rolled my eyes before glancing back at him. Someone should explain to him what lit actually means. Crazy guy. I just smiled to myself. Well, that certainly woke me up. Mrs. Shima, I'm glad that you're finally awake now, but I will not tolerate you smiling like an idiot in my class. Ooh! Shots fired. I could feel my face heated up in embarrassment. Sorry, sir. Oh, it's a dude. Oh, my bad. Feminine dude. Pay attention. I sighed to myself. I guess I better fidge attention. Now. Finally, the class is dismissed for a recess break. The students started getting up one by one, most likely hurrying to go to the cafeteria. I bet that the place is jam-packed, as always, given the number of hungry students in this school. Come to think of it, I don't even remember the last time we got to go eat there. It's always full with students that it's practically impossible to secure a seat. What more of a table for 5 students? Man, I wonder if they have a banoff pie right now. What is that? Banoffee pie? I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. It's just saying, sure, would love to get some satisfying my craving right now. What a drag. Let's just start getting up my things as well. Our teacher suddenly speaks. Oh, by the way, I forgot to inform you earlier, but all members of the Game Development Club are asked to go to the auditorium in the club building. Oh. We've been told that there's a surprise waiting for all you young developers. I stopped in my tracks. Almost automatically, I looked at all my other teammates, watching for their reactions. I can't be sure, but the curiosity and interest in their eyes must probably reflect my own feelings at the moment. That's all I can say. All 5 of us in the class exchanged glances. We don't have to say anything, but I'm pretty sure we're all thinking the same thing right now. Transition. Oh! 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 I like this background. The club auditorium is pretty large and classy place for a club building, at least. It seems to be almost as large as an actual school auditorium, where school events and school speeches are usually held. To be honest, this is actually my first time inside the auditorium, considering the fact that the club's building wasn't even existing up until a year ago. One more thing that I find surprising is the number of students currently here right now. If I'm not mistaken, only the members of the game development clubs were asked to come here for their surprise announcement. However, judging from the appearance of the crowd, I estimated around 300 students in here right now. Are all these students from our school? Some of them don't even seem to be around here. Dots. I see someone with a different uniform. Yep, definitely not everyone here is from my school. But if that's the case, that's even more strange. Why are so many students from different schools gathered in one school auditorium on a random school day? Yui leans closer towards me. She cups her hand over my ears for a whisper.
This isn't normal.
Sumiki turns to us with a serious expression on her face and is barking.
I heard that, Yuri, and yes, that is right. There is definitely something going on.
AI is just looking around, observing everyone. Meanwhile, Takara seems to be picking out the programmers he knows from the big crowds in front of us.
Whoa, this is awesome!
This is like a meeting for all inspiring game developers from Sapporo.
Totally awesome.
The four of us all look at Takara in surprise.
Sapporo? Everyone's here is from all over Sapporo?
I know I pronounced that wrong.
Yes.
He nods enthusiastically, his eyes sparkling like stars.
Isn't this amazing? I wonder if we can talk to those other people over there. Student developers? From all over Sapporo? Young artists in Sapporo. Student musicians in Sapporo.
Dots. Takara just grins while the rest of us are still feeling very overwhelmed. I don't know what's going to happen, but I feel like it's going to be something big. Oh, the lights dim. If we can please get everyone's attention. Looks like it's starting. Sumiki just nods, putting my finger to her lips. Please take a seat and settle down. We will be starting in a few minutes. The five of us walk a little closer into the front before taking our seats of some of the available chairs. We all have no idea what exactly we'll be starting with in a few minutes, but I can feel everyone's excitement in the room. It's very overwhelming, to say at least. My heart is beating so fast and my hands are feeling clammy. I've never felt anything like this before. Greetings, young developers of Sapporo. A murmur of excitement starts to rise from the crowd. Every second that passes is adding to the feeling of intense anticipation in the whole room. As we all know, in recent years there has been a surge in game development industries. More and more students are getting interested in working in the industry when graduated someday. More and more universities are adding game development to their list of available majors for all those interested young peoples. As high school students, all of you here have a major advantage. You're all very much a position than someone who had started at a later stage of life. You have made the right choice to start young. Many people in the auditorium start clapping. Even I can't help but feel proud and happy at the announcer's words. Glancing at my teammates, it seems like they feel the same. For 5 years now, countries from all over the world have been matching up against each other in the annual game development competition for the youth. Japan has never been interested in joining, but this year marks the change we've all been waiting for. This year, Japan will be competing in the international competition, and some of you here may get a chance and the privilege to represent our country. Are you ready for the challenge? This time the crowd goes wild. It's obvious just how pumped everybody is. Whoa. This is much better than I thought.
This is wonderful. I never thought it would feel this way.
Man, it's about time.
There is a reason why Japan is competing this year. Why all of you are here. It is because one special company. The excitement murmurs started up once again, getting even louder. Dude, they're gonna say it. They're gonna say it. Thanks to them, young developers from all over Japan will get the chance to compete. They have offered to sponsor the team who would be competing in the international competition. Aside from that, they also offer to train the chosen teams in their own headquarters before the competition. Whoa, this is darn amazing. He turns to me, the star still shining brightly in his eyes. June, we have to win. I don't care what else we will take to accomplish in life, but we have to win this. I allowed a sly chuckle, finding it both funny and amusing just how hyped he is about this. Looking at him from this distance, he doesn't seem like the kind of person who will be this giddy over a game development. But as someone who has known Takara for quite some time, I know he's not just any typical aspiring developer. Believe me, really has the skill in him. We'll certainly do our best. This company is head of one special man, a man who single-handedly managed to change the face of gaming in Japan. And today he wishes to speak to you all. A loud collective gasp from the crowd filled every corner of the auditorium halls. Please welcome Mr. Asana No, I'm sorry, I pronounced that wrong. Please welcome to Mr. Asuma Shintaro, the CEO and founder of Hellstorm. The cheers and claps that follows Mr. CEO's reveal are almost enough to make me deaf for a few seconds, but I no longer care. At this point in time, all I care about is the fact that I'm in the school's club auditorium along with 200 other potential contestants in the sponsorship, listening to the Hellstorm CEO himself. There's somewhere I'd rather be right now than here. The man who comes up on the stand from the backstage is nothing like what I had imagined to him to be. Before this moment, I imagined Hellstone CEOs to be slightly nerdy, perhaps even geeky, and surely clever. A man who had managed to climb to the top ladders of the country's development industry in just a few years. But the man who approached the microphone was nothing like that. He looked old, perhaps in his late 50s, but he seems to possess the creativity of a younger brother, the wit of an older brother, the strength of a father, and the kindness of a grandfather. Although he's nothing like I imagined, I can definitely see how he managed to earn himself the top spot in one of the leading industries in the countries to date. So this is the CEO of Hellstorm. He looks like my grandpapa.
I don't know, man. He seems... Wow, I don't know what to say.
Da-da-da-dots. I glance to at a silent Takara beside me. His eyes are shining so brightly I could swear nice. He's got tears in them right now. Well, I guess Asanama Shintaro is pretty much one of Takahara's idols. Greetings, my dearest young developers of Sapporo. Everyone starts cheering again, and we all can't help but cheer alongside everyone else. The emotion in this place are running so high in this place that it is important not to get yourself carried away. Can I see which one of you here are the artists? Plenty of hands shoot up, almost half, in fact. Aya looks around as she raised her own hand elegantly. Aww, I like that smile, that's nice. What about the writers? Several hands also rise up in the air. Sumiki hesitantly raises hers not even higher than her head, but Yui takes her arm and raises it up high. What about the musicians? There aren't as many musicians as the artists or writers, but also seem to be around 36 or more. Yuri raises her hand proudly. And lastly, programmers. This time, around 1/4 of the students in the room raises their hands. Takara just raises his hand nonchalantly, but I see he's also trying his hardest not to burst in excitement.
It is very nice to see you all in here. Thank you for coming to my little event.
As I looked at Mr. Shintaro, I see something in his eye, joy and perhaps a hint of pride.
When I was your age, many, many years ago. Now don't ask how long ago that was.
A light chuckle exhales from the crowd.
This game industry was only starting to rear its beautiful head in our beloved country. I was one of very few indie game development enthusiasts in my time. Back then, game development, especially in the indie level, was considered a nerdy, geeky activity that was one only enjoyed by solitary people who had nothing to do with their time. In other words, the nerd kids, the geek kids, the loser kids.
The whole room falls into a hush. Mr. Shintaro's eyes are still shining as bright as ever. I don't know what's the further reason for this, but it seems fascinating.
Of course, I never let myself become affected by their words.
There you go, Mr. Shintaro.
I love creating games. I created games for the sake of it. I created games because I loved it. Back then, the technology to create was still not as advanced and as the tools you have had at your disposal now. Game development was not an easy task if you think it's hard now. Imagine how it was many years ago, back when we still had manual to do everything manual to do every little thing. Automation, what godsend, believe me.
Again, the crowd laughs quietly.
Despite that, I never gave up. No matter what other people told me, no matter what hardships I had to face, I had to believe in myself because I love what I was doing. In love, there is no obstacle hard enough that you cannot overcome.
I looked around me. It's this auditorium of our... In this auditorium are hundreds of other students who are also aspiring to reach their same dream that I am also aspiring. Some of them may be better than me, some not, but at this point, all of us are trying to get there. I've always told myself that I wouldn't give up. Sometimes it gets really hard. I like this, but watching Mr. Shintaro make his speech now, I think I was right to not in giving up. He was right in not giving up.
I am sure you've been informed of my decision to sponsor teams that will be representing Japan in the international competition next year. All of you here are open to join the auditions near the end of this semester. However, I would like to ask one request of you before you make your final decision.
Everyone holds their breath in, not want to make a single noise in fear of missing what Mr. Shintaro is about to say.
Please, try your best to finish at least one project on your own this semester before your audition. Creating your own project will be a good practice for what is to come to your game development journey, and also is to gauge your current skill level in whatever element game development you've chosen to focus on. I believe that all of you are worthy of creating a game on your own, but are all of you ready to prove that you are all worthy to be representative of your own country? That answer lies in your hands, my dear children.
Takara takes a deep breath.
Don't you ever forget to never stop believing in yourself. He is one hell of a motivational speaker. You may be just young student developers now, but with hard work and dedication, you will surely reach your dreams. Who knows? The budding development of today may be the innovators of the future, and it is all up to you. I hope to see you all in the auditions.
Again, the crowd goes wild. It's obvious just how much impact this simple speech has done to all of us in the room. Right now, I bet even those who still weren't sure whether they should join in or not finally gotten their answers. Bet I can guess what their answers will be.
We definitely gotta win this competition.
Yes, we will. We can certainly try. We'll do our best.
Amidst of all the cheering and excitement murmurs, I turned to my teammates with a huge smile on my face. Let's do this. Yeah. Aw, that's nice. Aw. Transition. After the exciting announcement, we were all instructed to go back to our representative classes for our next period, much to our dismay.
Man, I thought we were gonna go excuse for the rest of the day.
As if they do that anyway.
Yeah, what a bummer.
You shouldn't have gotten your hopes up, Yui.
Yeah, man.
AI just stares at her while Tsumiki pats her back, smiling slightly as she does so.
That is alright, Yui. At least we will not miss any lessons in class.
Yui looks at her as if she was crazy.
What the?
Takara just nudges her.
This is why you're not at the top of the class.
Whatever.
She rolls her eyes as we all laugh.
Shall we meet later today?
Yeah. We already finished another idea sheet for the next scene, haven't we?
Let's just do it in class.
What for?
Yui blinks at him, then gives him a hesitant smile.
For a change?
We can do that. Fine. That is too fine with me.
Tsumiki turns to me, a question in her eyes.
June?
I'm about to say yes when suddenly I realize something. Where did I put the idea sheet? Oh my god, sheet, June. Don't tell me if I left it in the club room. Yep, I definitely did. What a hassle. I scratched the back of my head trying to figure out who to excuse myself from my teammates. Wait, I have to go back and get something from our room.
But we're going back to our room right now.
I mean the club room. Tsumiki looks at me suspiciously. Yes, I left the idea sheet. You and AI both frown at me.
Man, what a hassle.
Maybe you should go get it.
That was what I was thinking. Takara looks at me with a hesitant expression in his face.
Should we go get it back now, or?
Yeah, don't wait up for me.
Okay, see you in class.
I half walk, half run back to our room located up in the 3rd floor of the building. It's the floor specifically dedicated to the Young Developers Club members. Right now there's an exhibit for all game development teams. I have to get some papers that I left during our last group meeting. Man, how stupid was I not to realize that my school papers were also placed in that same pile. Stupid, June. Stupid. Sometimes I wish I wasn't so stupid, and sometimes I wished I was able to use my wish-granted power. With my mind pretty occupied and my eyes not focused in front of me, I accidentally hit something in the middle of the hallway. Oh no. Or rather, someone. I'm sorry, I looked up at the person I just bumped into, intending to give him an apologetic smile. However, my eyes grow wider as the saucers as I realize who the person is. Mr. Asuma Shintaro? The old man, also known as the CEO and the founder of Hellstone, smiles at me in the way of only a grandpa could do. For a few moments I feel everything dim around me as my head feels much more lighter than before.
Whoa, careful there, young one.
He holds me with one arm, his grip surprisingly very strong for someone his age. As my mind starts to accept the fact that I had just bumped into the company president himself in the hallways of the 3rd floor, I begin to panic. Mr. Shintaro, it's you! You're the founder of the CEO Hellstorm! His cheeky eyes get even cheekier as he smiles at me warmly.
Yes, I believe you got that right. Asuma Shintaro, my boy.
I'm sorry I pronounced that wrong. I nod, feeling the stars shining in my eyes. I guess this is how Takara also always feels whenever he sees one of his idols going about. Come on, man, this is a pretty rad feeling.
May I ask you what you're doing on this floor? Are you interested in checking out the game development teams here? Oh, but yeah, I understand you may not be interested in new teams. Oh, but hey, I guess not, since the company is going to sponsor the game development teams for upcoming competition for the youth, right? I do think, Mr. Shintaro, sir, that you're doing one hell of an awesome job. What do you think should be our country's next move? He raises his eyebrow at me, looking amused. Somehow I finally gone over the starstruck feeling, and now I just wanted to interview him about everything I could possibly interview him about. Whoa. Slow down, my boy. I'm actually here for the game development exhibits. You're correct. We are interested in training the young teams as we think that they can help in ensuring the suitable, sustainable future for the technology and development of our country.
Mr. Shintaro suddenly smiles, a certain shine appearing in his eyes once more. I still don't fully know what the lightings I mean, but it's something that I would like to see one more time.
If I'm not mistaken, you're also one of these young developers. Is that right? Are you a writer? Perhaps an artist?
I'm honored that you remembered me.
I'm actually neither. I'm currently the director for our group. I help out with organization and management, though I'm also planning to become one of the voice actors once our current project is complete.
The older man nods apprehensively.
I see. Why is that an interesting mix of skills? If you develop them further, I'm sure you'll bring them about to change in your generation.
He suddenly turns to the exhibition, lifts in a pamphlet in his hands, quickly skimming over the presentation with obviously skilled and a trained eye.
Let's see, which one of these works belong to your team?
We weren't able to do anything for the exposition this year, but we promise that next year we'll do our best to show something. He pauses, then glances at me.
That's good. I like your attitude. What is your name?
My name is Jun Shima, sir. All of a sudden, the smile of the kind of face disappears, replaced with a confused gaze.
Shima?
I don't know why, but my heart suddenly feels like it's got dropped to my stomach. There's this weird feeling of uneasiness and anxiety that suddenly started to envelop my whole body. Mr. Shintaro? Is there any problem? He looks at me directly, giving me a reassuring smile. However, his gaze seems to pierce through me 100 miles much further away than I am. I'm really liking this background music.
No, not a problem at all.
He's no good at hiding his feelings at all, is he?
I just happen to know a certain Shima.
Oh, yeah, that's right. His parents are like, business people too.
An old acquaintance of mine.
My ears perked up in interest. Mrs. Shima, sir? May I know his name? Maybe I know him. As far as I know, most Mrs. Shimas are part of my family. Mr. Shintaro smiles at me kindly, shaking his head.
No, that's quite alright.
No, I'm interested. What the heck?
Perhaps I was just mistaken. It's been a long time after all. 10 years to be exact.
A decade. Oh, I see. Oh, well, it would have been cool if we both knew the guy. A guy I can dream.
Fate wouldn't be so playful, would she?
Sir?
Will you join my company's audition, my boy?
Yes, sir.
Alright. It's nice meeting you then.
He smiles at me again and starts walking away. For a while, I just stand there, still kind of feeling starstruck. Wow, I can't believe it. I got to get a close encounter with the Hellstorm CEO himself. Takara will get so envious.
By the way,
he suddenly stops walking and looks back at me, his eyes shining like he's amused about something.
The audition will be faceless and anonymous. We, as judge, will never know your real identity before the end of the auditions. We will only know once you get chosen.
Mr. Shintaro gives me a warm, kind smile one more time.
I hope to see you there, Jun, Mr. Shima.
Yes, sir! He nods at me and turns back once again, and once more. Finally, he disappears around the corner.
Wait, did he just
say that he'd like to see my team win in the auditions? I don't know what could be more motivating than that. Whatever happens next, I'm sure we can face it all with a smile.
Let's go, team.
Two guys coming out from one of the rooms both look at me strangely. Sorry. Forgot that I don't have my team with me right now. They just shake their heads as they go their way.
That's a weird guy. Yeah, I heard strange rumors about him.
I can't help but smile, still feeling excited about everything. I can feel it in my bones. This is definitely the start of our journey to reaching our dreams. Just wait for it, world. You'll see. But first, the idea sheet! After class, I decided not to go to home immediately first. Alright, oh my god. But where should I go? I think this has been a good enough episodes for right now, for right here, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in for Kachuna. Or his Janura cannot be cured. We're gonna find out where we're gonna go next. As in, obviously, we're gonna go to the library to see what AI is up to. So without further ado, guys, I hope you guys have a good night, good evening, go on the phone, where from. So peace out and sign out, guys. Bye bye. Love ya.